Hi, welcome to another love tip from LoveBudi. This is Matthew. Just want to talk about how love is active, how love takes action. Love does things. Love isn't passive. Now, people that are meek have a lot of love in their hearts. But if you're so meek, you're so shy, you're so timid, you're really letting a lot of things happen in your world. If you believe in oneness, if you believe in humanity, if you have compassion for others, and you're not acting on that, you're not taking responsibility, then you're not helping the situation. Then people, the bad guys, can get away with doing a lot of bad things if you stand by and just watch them and do nothing. Say, hey, that's not my problem. Or, I don't have the power, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I don't have that. Instead of finding what you can do, or even if there's not a bad guy involved, maybe if there's just some people that are impoverished, maybe some people that are hungry, they're starving, or they're sick, or they need help, they need support, and you're saying, oh, I can't do anything about that because you have a weak heart. You don't have a heart that can be strong, that can stand up for love. So today's love tip talks about how we can be more active and why really, if we are compassionate, if we believe in love, we're going to support our fellow man. And the number one, maybe first foundational thing we need to understand is that we are one. That anything that happens to someone else, it happens to us. We're one human family, and we can't forget that. We need to be accountable to each other. So I'm going to look at some of the qualities. Now, there's 72 love qualities, but the ones that directly affect our being active in the world, instead of being passive, are doing something about the condition of the world, not neglecting it, not being ignoring it, not being in denial. There are so many qualities here. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, about 28 or so of the 72 love qualities can be applied directly to someone being active or being passive, helping the world to be a better place in the ways that they can, or doing nothing about it or doing little about it, doing much less than they really are able to do, or really that they can do, or that they should do. So let's look at some of these qualities right now. The first one is accountability. We need to be accountable to each other. So if someone is getting dragged off by the bad guys, we should be accountable to them. It's like, hey, support someone who's in a tough situation. So we need to be accountable to each other. We're not each an island. We're not each isolated. Sometimes we want to be because we don't want to be responsible for each other. But in fact, if you understand that we are one human family, that we need to support each other, then you're going to realize, wow, I'm accountable. I have to answer to what's going on. Now, we can't answer to everything. We can't fix every problem, but we are accountable. So to a degree that we can make a move, to the degree that we can act, we need to be able to do that. We need to understand that's our responsibility. Number 2, acts. So acts is kind of like a reaction. When we see something, we see a problem, we act. We take action with that. We're active in general. We do things. We belong to organizations, or we belong to community, or we take action in our lives to help make the world a better place. By the way, let me tell you something really significant. Most of the people in the world are passive. 90% are probably just passive, doing little to nothing to help the world be a better place. And look at the result. Look at what we've got. Look at the kind of world that we live in. If everyone, or if 80% of the people did something, were aware that they needed to do something and did something to help the world be a better place. They stood up for love. They stood up for loving themselves, and they stood up for loving humanity, loving each other, loving animals, loving plants, loving the earth. Wow, what an incredible transition that would be, how much the world would change. So this isn't something that's not doable. This is something that needs to be done, actually, for the survival of humanity. Available, the third one here. Love is available. We're available. We don't hide out. We don't lock the door. We don't turn off the phone. We don't ignore cries for help. We're available. We do what we can. It doesn't mean we destroy our own lives, because love is about loving yourself too. But it's not about ignoring others. It's not about not being available, hanging that not available sign, do not disturb sign on our door all the time, so that we can isolate and not be part of humanity like we need to be. Being present is the fourth one. Being present means being aware of what's going on, being aware of the situation. It's part of consciousness, actually. Being present is, okay, I see what's happening here and now, and that could motivate you, if you have compassion, if you're accountable, to take action and to do something. If you're present, if you're here right now, instead of off somewhere else, in some kind of a dreamland or fantasy world, or maybe daydreaming or something like that constantly, and thinking about something else. We need to be present as well to support each other. Next one is communicating. We need to be able to communicate. That means we receive communication, we receive things that people will say to us, whether it's written or spoken or in a video or some other way, and vice versa. We need to be able to communicate back so that there's kind of an interaction going on with other people. To that degree, we can help others. If we're not communicating, if we're being silent, this is a way of isolating, this is a way of not being available. Compassionate. Next one is compassion. So if you feel compassion in your heart, you're going to say, wow, that's a horrible thing that's going on. And when we have compassion, when we have that sensitivity of compassion, we know we need to do something about it. We need to take action. We need to do something about it. We're automatically motivated. Wow, I want to right this wrong. I want to see what I can do about this. Take action. So conscious now. Consciousness is part of being present. That's the next one. Be conscious. Be aware. Be in touch. Know what's going on. Be awake. Don't constantly be in some state of inebriation. Don't constantly be under the influence of some substance that's going to make you. Don't lie in bed all day. Don't watch TV all day and ignore the rest of the world about what's going on. Be conscious, be aware, know what's happening. Considerate. It's considerate. Someone's being dragged out, someone's hurting. It's considerate. It's a polite thing to do, to be willing to help them, to be willing to assist them. It's part of being considerate. Dedicated. If you're dedicated to love, you're going to take action. You're going to say, that's mine to do. You're going to realize you have a certain level of responsibility. Wait a second, I see this problem and I want to do something about it outside of just my own personal life or my own personal family. Love doesn't make those barriers. Love doesn't draw those lines. It's dedicated to bringing more love to the world, making the world a better place. Empathetic. So empathy, we can put ourselves in someone else's shoes. Wow, if I was having that happen to me, that would be a horrible situation. This person's in a horrible situation. I can imagine how horrible that feels and what that person's going through. This is empathy, and empathy drives us. It moves us to take action. Empowering. We believe in empowering others. Love believes in empowering others. Love wants others to be powerful. Love sees the value in that. Making others powerful. Helping others to have a healthier life, to have a stronger life, to be able to express themselves, to be able to soar like a hawk, to be able to assert themselves, and to be able to act creatively, and be able to leave their mark on the world. Empowering others. So if we see someone who needs some empowerment, they're really in a weak position, whether it's financially or physically or socially or some other way, they're just hurting. We want to empower them. We want to see them be more powerful. We help others be more powerful. It helps us be more powerful. It helps us all. Okay, that's it for today because I'm going over time. So I'm going to take the other half. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 16 more love qualities. We're going to talk about that, Ken. Motivate us to take action in the world. Motivates us not to be so passive, but to actually do something to help the world be a better place. That's what today's love tip is about, and that's about what the next love tip is going to be about. So in just a minute, I'm going to share that in another video. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a lot of love in your life. I hope your life is wonderful. I love you. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.